The horsepower out of the 300 is definitely noticeable. I would say it would take two solid PT175s to compete with a PT300. My name's Joab Ori. My wife and I, we own Ori Excavating Service. We're out of Williston, Kansas. It's just south of Kansas City, right on the Missouri-Kansas state line. We do small excavation work, a little bit of commercial site preparation, land clearing, cattle pasture improvements for improving grasslands for cattle producers and ranchers in our local community. So currently the only FAE piece of equipment that we have is a 2015 PrimeTech PT175 dedicated mulcher. It has a few thousand hours on it. We bought it used. We use it for removal of invasive species, undergrowth brush. We have used it on a couple of commercial projects for straight clearing and grubbing for a commercial development back in Kansas City for commercial warehouses. The PT175 is a substantial machine when comparing it to a skid steer and a forestry mulcher on a skid steer. The production rate out of the PrimeTech is twice what you would get out of a skid steer. Absolute phenomenal machine. So to be down here in Florida today, our biggest thing was we wanted to see the new technology of what PrimeTech had to offer. Our main focus of being down here was to see the PT300. As you can see, standing here in front of it, we are trying to gear up with more work. Instead of trying to hire another operator and look at purchasing another PT175, entertaining the idea of going to a PT300, it will give us the opportunity to create the production of two machines by versus having one machine and one operator. So you're reducing the amount of fuel consumption, the amount of maintenance and wear and tear costs with two pieces of equipment versus having one. And then also increase the productivity that my wife and I are able to do on a day-to-day basis is the biggest push. And so being here today to get to see this piece of equipment, the PT300, is fantastic. So the good takeaways, the size of the machine, it's very stable. The 175 is a very stable machine in itself, but the 300, obviously, you have a longer track frame, you're a little bit wider, you have a little bit more weight to the machine, so it provides a nice stable working environment, even over unstable ground. The horsepower out of the 300 is definitely noticeable. I would say it would take two solid PT175s to compete with a PT300. Based upon my experience out here today, hour and a half of actual sitting in the machine and getting to run it and mulch some material here in northern Florida, I would say it's a solid two 175s worth of production out of this single unit here. This is the first time I've been able to run a PT with bite limiter head plus sonic technology, but after being seat time in this and getting to experience it, it is pretty amazing technology. It takes the power from the tracks and puts it back into the head as you start to load up the head. So say you're back dragging and you're mulching and you're going too fast track speed wise, it will take the power, the hydraulic flow from the tracks and put it back into the head, continuing to keep your productivity up. So your mulcher head doesn't want to pull down and slow down your production rate. So your track speed will slow down, but you're still grinding at the same rate without having to raise the head and pull the head out of the fuel that you're trying to masticate or mulch. So you can get a hold of us on social media. So our business Facebook is Ori Excavating Service, and that's O-R-Y Excavating Service. We're in Williston, Kansas. We're south of Kansas City. My telephone number is area code 913-212-8422, or our email address is oriexcavating@gmail.com.